જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ રજનીકાંતભાઈ.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ પુલિનાનંદજી, દીપકાનંદજી, જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Okay, Robin.
Yeah, ready. જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ. દાદા ભગવાનના અસીમ જય જયકાર હો.
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 દાદા ભગવાનના ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
दादा भगवान 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 ना असीम जय जयकार हो।
जय सच्चिदानंद।
जय
जय
सच्चिदानंद।
सच्चिदानंद।
दीपका जी
कृपया
पूजा जी
पुलिनान
can
जी।
you recommend the place?
नमो वीतरागाय
नमो
नमो वीतरागाय।
वित्रगाय।
नमो अरिहन्ताणं
नमो अरिहन्ताणं।
नमो सिद्धाणं
नमो सिद्धाणं।
नमो आयरीयाणं
नमो आयर्याणं।
नमो वत्सयाणं
नमो वज्रायाणं।
नमो लोये सवसाहुणं
नमो लोये सब साहुणम्।
ऐसो पंचन मुक्कारो
ऐसो पंचन मुक्कारो।
सौवभावपनासनो
सर्वपावपणासनो।
मङ्गलाणं च सुवेशें
मङ्गलानं च सर्वेशेन्।
परमं हवै मङ्गलम्
परमं हवै मङ्गलम्।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय।
जय सच्चिदानंद
जय सच्चिदानंद।
Jai Satchidanand. Kushabai.
Jai Satchidanand. Yeah, I would like to talk about this Nirdosh Drishti. What I understand from that about the science, about the science and the mathematics of that, I would like to understand more. What I understand first, I will tell, and then you can please elaborate on that. That if we see others, the actions of others, what is visible is of the past which is unfolding. So, and the persons or they will have different inside. They will have different bhavnas. So, but we are blaming them for present. So it is while it is unfolding of the past. So, in that respect, we can say that it is they are not at fault. Faultless. you know so
Mhm.
so that is what I understood, and please elaborate on this.
Deepakan ji.
Jai Satchidanand. See, that's right. But if you if we try to analyze and understand the whole situation, what normally people uh, have their evaluation, what is the basis of their evaluation, what people are doing now. It is because of our enlightenment and Dada Bhagwan's grace that he has revealed this science of cause and effect. And that's how we have come to know. The world doesn't know that. And even after knowing that, we are at times unable to see people innocent. And how Dada has said that these people are innocent is because the root cause of the situation or circumstance we are into it is our instrumental cause inside, naimittik karan, inside, cause. And that is responsible for the other person to become an instrument for us. And the end result is we are suffering. So, Dada made a good justification. If it is someone else's fault, agreed. Let's go ahead with that. Why are you suffering? You cannot suffer because of someone else's fault. So here, and also at the same time, what Dada has said, we have viewed the whole situation, analyzed and observed, perceived the situation in totality, and came to this conclusion how things happen. And that's how he has revealed that this natural, universal, cosmic power, what he has uh, coined the name as Vyavasthit, is responsible for things to happen. And that's how we have to cultivate that vision to understand that the other person is totally innocent today, because today you are suffering. For example, if someone picked your pocket, yes, as per world law, he is at fault. But what Dada said, okay, when he will get caught and when he will be proved that he picked the pocket, that time his guilt or his, what you say, crime or whatever you say, will be proved and justified. But today you are suffering. So, with this understanding, today being you at fault in the sense because you are suffering, you accept that it is your fault. And the scientific cause is the instrumental cause, reason is within you, which has made the other person an instrument for you. That pickpocketer is his job. He says, it's my business. We are running this business from last 4 generations. But how did we get caught? There lies the center point or crux or the real cause, that timing came and this transaction took place and we ended up suffering. So this
One
is
thing I would
how,
like to tell.
huh?
One thing I would like to tell. Did I interrupt you? If I can tell you.
No, you never nobody
Okay. So
interrupts.
what
Please.
I forgot to tell is that what happens is that the while we do the nav kalam and all that, so what happens is that focus is on the nav kalam. And when the file one sees that others are, focuses that we should not violate that, we should not violate that, speech should be good and should not do, others, hurt others, So, but when we see that in not only for our personal experiences, but in whatever we see and hear and all that, all this violence is going on. So that is contrary to the nine conduct principles, right? So that also brings a thought or a chain of thought that that this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. So focus goes on that, that is what my aim is, that then the focus goes on that, then they are held responsible and fault, so that is why I'm trying to shift the focus away from that they are and establish that they are faultless. In principle I can understand, but in practice it doesn't happen. So it doesn't happen that the thought comes that they are faultless. First thought will come, that they are at fault. Later, of course, that it is countered with all those things, but I want that the first thought should also come that they are at not at fault. It should be established, you know. So that is what I am trying to do.
Right. So let us understand one thing. The world view or the world perception is, and the rule or the law is, whoever who does or do the mistake or does the mistake, it is his fault. And as per the realized enlightened ones, one who is suffering is at fault. And all these principles are applicable to us. These laws of nature, what Dada has revealed through 9 diamonds, that this is how you should live, otherwise you will suffer. You don't have to apply those things on others. Those rules are not applicable for others. And even if the other person is a enlightened person and somehow he becomes instrument for your suffering, then you don't have to see that, hey, he's an enlightened person, a realized person, how could he do such a mistake? How could he commit such a mistake? No. It is like because of the instrumental cause, nemitic karan, inside within us, that is Kashyapji, he comes across that situation, and because of his lapse, whatever is the reason, he will become instrument for you, for your suffering. So our thermometer, the thermometer of wisdom is or tells us that if you are suffering, then it is your fault. Don't see the doer. Doer is a mere instrument in the natural cause or the natural part of the natural cosmic power. So universal cosmic power. So if you understand that way, if you see from that understanding, then you will find the other person, immediately you will find the other person and prove the other person innocent, and you will understand and conclude that it is your fault only. Correct?
How to establish that it is our fault only?
The reason is in the whole situation, because everyone contributed for the thing to happen. But who is suffering today? I am suffering, so it is my fault. Period. When their guilt or crime or mistake be proved, then they will get the punishment. But today, although they have committed that mistake, in fact, it is said that to relieve us from our karma, our debt, karmic debt, what the other person is doing is he is relieving us by committing mistake of his own. That's why Dada said that in any situation when others are becoming instrument for your suffering, you do pratikrama.
So the
You
mistake
correct
which I
yourself.
understood is now is that we are not applying the time factor, basically. Like you said, now we are suffering, so now
Correct.
we are suffering, so
Correct.
fault is ours right
Yes.
now. So, but what we are doing is that we are holding the other person at fault right now, So that is not correct. The time factor
So
is the.
it is like you use a thermometer to check the temperature, and if our temperature is high,
Mm,
then we are sick.
mm. Yeah, the time
Correct?
factor I got.
Very, very true, very true. We don't see this time factor that I am suffering now, so it is my fault. Had it been
Online
the other
Satsang.
person, then it's not my fault.
Correct. I got it. Yes. Thank
Correct?
you.
Jai Satchidanand.
Yes, sir.
Pulinanandji?
Ah, if I may paraphrase, your question was that we as Mahatmas practice now Kalam, not to hurt others. But when you see others hurting and all, then you find it difficult to see them as faultless,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, so now to answer that, this thing, that as you said that on the first instant itself, I must see them as innocent or faultless. You do that afterwards, after applying the Gnana. Now, the answer to that question is See, ultimately, what we are seeing with our five senses, eyes and others, is the prakriti or the relative part, the body, mind, body, speech of others or ourselves. Now, this prakriti inherently follows the principle of cause and effect. As you have charged, so it will be discharging. So now, before we understand others' prakriti, if we just have a look at our own prakriti, you will see that even if I don't want to have some bad thoughts, still thoughts are coming. Even when I don't want to speak something which hurts others, speech is flowing. I want to do something, but I'm not able to do something. So when we observe our own mind, body, and speech, we feel okay, it is not in our control. It is part of the discharge, and things every time do not go the way we wanted. So, just as my prakriti, my mind, my speech, my body is part of discharge based on what was charged in the previous birth. Similarly, similarly, others' prakriti also, what is happening now is part of what they have charged in their previous births. In their previous births, whatever thought processes, whatever bhavnas, whatever intentions and desires they would have charged based on the understanding they had in the previous birth, that is now playing out as a discharge speech, discharge thought, and discharge action. So right now, his own prakriti is also not in his control because it's part of the discharge which he has charged in his previous birth. Because we have got Gnan, we can feel that the discharge that is now taking place is not in alignment with my goal of going to moksha. But for them, moksha is not a goal. So what they feel is correct. Their discharge of speech and action, according to them, is right because that is what they have charged. So if I want to see others as innocent instantaneously, then whenever we are free, we have to just pause, introspect, and tell ourselves that just as your mind, body, speech, that is myself, my mind, body, speech, is part of discharge and not totally in my control now. Same way, his prakriti is also playing out based on whatever his potapano or whatever his inner designs are there. So it is his prakriti which is playing out. Right now, it is not in his control. Hence, he is innocent or he is not at fault. So this is one of the ways of understanding others' prakriti, which we feel as a hurting category or negative category. Uh,
Yes,
then, huh?
correct. Correct.
Now, the one more, you brought a good point. We can just, there are some additional side points which we can just cover up. So it's an action reaction. Then, then in this Kali Yuga, what will happen is you will see a lot of suffering all around. We have got Gnan, so let us keep ourselves, but on an average, a person, his boss irritates him in the office and all, he's suffering in the office, he's insulted in the office. Then when he comes home, then that anger, build up anger, then it reflects on his family members, say wife, say children. They get hurt by him. Then when they get hurt, they in turn hurt somebody else. So there is a cumulative hurt which goes all around. And that's where this is the one of the signs of Kali Yuga. In Satyuga, there was a cumulative goodwill, happiness, and helping others category or giving happiness to others, cumulative effect. So you will see that this will continuously go on. There is a lot of negativity and hurt and violence and things like that. So this is a symptom of the Kali Yuga. And the third thing is that you're saying that someone is hurting me or someone I'm suffering or the other person is suffering. Now, suffering is one aspect of an effect, a negative aspect where he gets hurt or he gets pain. Same way, he also gets something good, something nice also happens to us. People help us, some things will fall in place. So that also is a suffering. What of the positive type of the type which gives us happiness? So happiness and sorrow both are effects, both are sufferings in the viewpoint of the Vitarag. So if you take it cumulatively, or if you take a world, if you take a enlarged view, that ultimately these are all effects. One may give happiness, one may give sorrow. and this is based on whatever they have charged. So today it's an effect. Just as my body is giving an effect, in spite of Gnan, it is still playing out the way it is not desirable yet. Same way others are playing out. They don't even have Gnan. They don't have the true knowledge of their own selves. So the discharge is playing out. So just observe it. This is Kali Yuga. So for the time being, a lot of negativity will be there, hurt, violence, anger, everything. So just observe that this is the effects of the charges they have done. And you have to just observe and let it pass. Let it pass. So this is the
Yes.
way you're able to maintain innocent view that others are innocent, others are faultless, Nirdosha Drashti. That is how it might help them at the first instant. If this thinking is embedded deeply into your, understanding, it will take time. Whenever we are free, we have to keep on telling ourselves that this is the way it is, this is the way it is, this is the way it is, and gradually it get imbibed. This thinking will get imbibed in your understanding, and the new understanding, as they say, reprogramming, the new understanding will automatically pop up at the appropriate Vyavhar, and you will see them innocent. That's the
So in
impact.
connection with this, that that instantaneous pratikraman which Dadaji says, that means that what I understood, the awareness should be there that this is not right, or the thoughts are coming, which is holding other person as faulty. But if we have the awareness that no, this is not right, what that we are not agreeing with the thoughts, that is the instantaneous pratikraman, that time.
Yes, yes. See, the crux is, as you said, awareness. Understanding we have, but it should pop up at the appropriate time. That awareness must come, must also be present. The presence of awareness and understanding will give the instantaneous result. Result will be that you will see the others as faultless. But you have awareness, not that you don't have. But only thing, it is coming later on. It's a delayed awareness. And afterwards you feel, oh, I saw them as faulty, but now they're really not faulty. So Pratikaman helps over there where you say, oh, I saw them faulty. I'm sorry, they are really not faulty. Now, doing the Pratikaman will enhance your awareness of Jagrati for the next time. Oh, I saw them as faulty, but they really are not faulty. I'm sorry. So this Pratikamans will enhance your awareness for the next time. Yes, yes. Oh no, they are really not faulty. And so this Pratikaman is one tool which can help you. And gradually, as you start seeing them as innocent, then there is no Atikraman, so no Pratikraman is also required.
Correct.
Yeah, fine. Just
Got it. Thank you. Jai Sachin.
Jai Satchidanand. Mirabel?
Jai Sachidanand, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, all the Mahatmas, Rachikant Kaka, everybody. Thank you for this question. Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand, and Happy New Year. I wanted to ask you one question regarding fear. Very similar to what Kashyapji asked, but something I'm trying to understand. I understand about Krodh, Man, Maya, Lob, and the Samayik that we need to do to uh, bring out those kashas and see them and release them. But I don't know where fear comes. I've looked everywhere. Fear is also a cachet, but how do I focus on that? What is the best way to do Samaik for fear?
Pulinanandji?
what type of fear do you experience?
Any type of fear. Sometimes it is fear that, like Kashyapji was saying about violence, you hear it, you see it, you know it. Other types of fear are, am I doing my Navkalams properly because my chit is going someplace? So there's all different types of fear, but it is fear. But I know it is related to something, but I don't, all I can pinpoint that is fear. So that's why I'm asking.
Okay. So it is fear and anxiety put together.
And maybe all kinds of things. Yes, correct.
So one is the external fear of what will happen to the world, what will happen to my house, my children, my future, and all things like that.
that.
So now this fear is is being raised by intellect or buddhi. It
Okay.
is our intellect which generates this fear, because intrinsically the function of buddhi is to see profit and loss. So when you see this surrounding situation and you feel, "Arey, what will happen to me? What will happen to my house, my career, my health, my or the world around me?" So that is what causes fear. Because you see somewhere the present scenario causing you some hurt, discomfort, or a loss in some relative way. So fear is related to that, anxiety or what will happen, kya hoga, mera, dunia ka, sabka, like that. So the culprit is intellect and our expectations. If we expect that I plan to sell my house in 2 years time and then reinvest or buy a new house, and when you see property prices going down, then fear comes in. Hey, what will happen? I had planned like that. So some part of expectations, fear of expectations not getting fulfilled. And that, again, the culprit is the intellect. Now, those who have a low intellect or are not too bothered, they will not have fear at all. Dekha jayega, let us see what will happen. And even if they suffer or they have a loss, they didn't get the expected sale, say from the property they wanted to sell. And never mind, the intellect then, it still does not operate because the profit and loss dikhta hi nahi hai. Oh, kam paisa mila, less paisa mila. So those who have low intellect, they never experience fear of the future, what will happen. And even in the present moment, if something goes wrong, they don't still experience any sadness or discomfort, because the intellect doesn't tell them, "Oh, what a loss! You should have got so much money, but you got only so much money. You no respect for you. You so much respect for that." Hey, nahi, they don't see the loss in the first place. So, I think the deep down cause of fear which you are experiencing on and off uh, is due to the intellect. A tapered down or a mild version of fear is anxiety sometimes. Kya hoga, kya hoga? So the cause is buddhi, and the solution is countering the buddhi with today's Gnan. One of the things could be for external things, what will happen and all. One of the things could be, nothing will happen beyond Vyavasthit. Everything is part of Vyavasthit. So Vyavasthit के बाहर कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. Nothing will happen outside Vyavasthit. That is one of the ways of countering. Another way is try your level best and see how Vyavasthit is going to play its part. Like that.
Okay.
And the third thing is you try your level best. Nothing more than that. So Vyavasthit is one of the ways to quell the fear of future. Fear of future will be quelled by Vyavasthit. Then nothing. Try your best. Beyond that, nothing. Then all the karmas that is happening all around the world, the violence, the war, the hardship, that is also part of the Kali Yuga. And Dada Bhagwan had very clearly told that this is going to rise and then ultimately it will reach its peak and then it will come down. With all damage and destruction that will take place will remove all the negativities, violence, and all the wrong things. So it's the nature's cleansing process which is in operation right now. Not that it is fully executed.
Okay.
So we are very comfortably waiting for that Satyuga good period to come, which Dada Bhagwan had promised. That India is going to be the center of the world and everything, all the goodwill and Satyuga will prevail all around, India and
Yes.
the world. So we know
Yes.
at all this. So that's why the external things don't affect. In fact, I'm still waiting for the whole thing to happen, as Dada had said. So as far as external events or world events, this is the way. And as far as our inner anxiety is, my son is not doing, doctor is not doing this well, that well. Try level best. It is one thing is your Vyavasthit. One thing is the Vyavasthit of the other person for whom you have fear or anxiety. Your daughter, your family member, or say neighbor, what will happen to him or her, kya hoga. Now his or her Vyavasthit will take according to his or her Vyavasthit, individual Vyavasthit, things will happen. Even they have brought their own Vyavasthit. Sometimes a child has become of marriageable age. I'm just giving a random example. The boy or a girl, and then they're looking for the match, and it still does not materialize. And 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the age is advancing. India 25, 28, 29, and then the anxiety seeps in. Arey, kya hoga, kya hoga? Now here we can say it is his Vyavasthit. And according to his Vyavasthit, he will get the match at the appropriate time. So this is one of the ways to quell the anxiety of kya hoga, what will happen.
Okay.
So primarily it is Viparit Buddhi, and then that has to be satisfied by some Gnan, one of them being Vyavasthit, one of them being their own Nasib or their own, whatever they are. And you say, don't worry about others, worry about file number 1. See to it that you are observer of file number 1.
Yes.
Take care yourself. You have anyway have no control on others' behavior and other events.
Correct.
So then why are you worrying about things on which you have no control?
Correct. So it is not.
So focus your time and energy on things on which you have control, which is your own Purusharth, your own Jagrati. And one more thing you can do, that you see suffering all around, say outside, say someone, your family member is not getting along in his job, career, or relations, or life. Then you can do one thing, yes. Just don't leave it at, uska vyavasthit na hoga, wo hoga, what will happen? You can do prayers for that. You can have heartfelt prayers. Hey Dada Bhagwan, may goodwill prevail on him. May he have the sadbuddhi. May things in his life work out very well if things are not working in his life properly. So prayers for the goodwill of the earth. That's what we do. Hey Dada Bhagwan, Jagat ma sukh shanti ho jo. Let there be happiness prevail. So that is the bhavna. We can definitely do that. When we cannot do physically at the action level anything, when we cannot do anything at the speech level, we can always do it at the thought level. In terms of bhavna, in terms of prayer, of goodwill for the other person or the world in general. So if you do those prayers, your intellect will get the satisfaction of I have done something. I have done something. And then you'll feel, okay, I have done something. Rest I leave it to Dada or rest I leave it to Vyavasthit. You can also say, Dada, iska kalyan karna. So leave it to Dada. See it as a part of Vyavasthit and your mental prayers. So your intellect will subside. And that's what that is required. And moment the intellect subsides, you are happy because you are in Vartman, you are in the present moment.
Yes.
All fears come when we move from the present to the future. What will happen in the future? What will happen in the future?
But Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji,
If you come back to the present, then automatically all that goes up.
Correct. Even when I do prayers or Charan Vidhi or Nav Kalam, if I have to make sure that I'm watching Mira's chit in that present, in living in that present. Correct. Okay. Jai Sachidan. That is also a fear because I think when will I get moksha if I'm not doing this properly, if this is not happening. All of that happens also. That also anxiety comes. That's what I'm saying.
So don't worry about that. That is part of Mira's discharge, where you see the chit is not present while doing the practice. So just tell Mira, please do the vidya accordingly.
Okay.
Just prodding Mira, because you see, I want to do vidya with upyog is your intention today. But today, the discharge Prakriti or the discharge Antaskaran or the discharge Chitta is not supporting today's intention because the past karmas are, making it move out.
Got it.
So that also is a point of observation. Observe today, observe. Mira has not done the Vidhi properly. Mira, it was not present while doing Vidhi. So Mira, so what the answer is, solution is, Mira, next time be careful. Please do properly. Ask for strength for the other and do it. So that fear will go away, that guilt will go away. I'm not doing Vidhi properly, what will happen? Vidhi is one dimension of going to moksha, where the antas current is cleansed and aligned, or concentrated. There are other dimensions of moksha also, which you are anyway following. You're doing the five agnas, you're doing Bhagavad you're doing so many things. So your moksha is very secure. So this is the way of managing Meera.
Neera, yes.
Meera's anxiety.
Yeah. Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji.
Yes,
Thank you. That makes me
Deepakanji,
settled. Thank you.
Deepakanji,
Anand. See, this fear aspect is always there for the unknown. And through the conviction of ourselves and the science of happening, which Dada Bhagwan has revealed so nicely, so clearly, such fears, they pop up when we are driven away by our short-sighted intellect. And we listen to what the intellect says. Oh, this is going to happen, that is going to happen. No, it doesn't matter, that's right. And the intellect is doing its job rightly. What is needed from our side is, have we taken enough precaution? Children are growing, our job insecurity, life insecurity. Are you eating properly? Are you living properly? So all these factors, because they are predisposing factors, they are not the sole factors. Because a very healthy person also dies certain times at a younger age. Or a very good person, a man of God, let's say, like, he also come across situations which are not expected from that kind of a person. But what we are benefited with is things that happen is out of or the result of the universal cosmic power of Vyavasthit Shakti. And whenever situation come like this, when we get disturbed, then use this. Although Dada is not told to say or consider things as Vyavasthit beforehand. Only after it happens, you have to use that. But in situations where we get thoroughly disturbed like this, and fear surrounds us and traps us and takes us on a good ride, then in such situations you can say, hey, Meera, everything is Vyavasthit. Nothing is going to happen beyond that. So this fear factor is in a way good. And when it crosses it gets uncontrolled, then it drives us away also. So it's like fear factor always um, help us remain within limits while driving, while dealing with people, while dealing with children, especially family members, because nowadays people are so independent. They don't worry, they don't care about themselves, but they will take such steps, dangerous steps, for which we become instrument, giving, which we don't want to. So it is said that the conviction that I am pure soul, when it is thoroughly understood and experienced, we go to the next step of experience, we can say, we become free from fear. Free from fear and fearless are different. Fearless is a dangerous thing, but you become free from fear. And ultimately, it is said that the state of experience is absolute separateness, called asangata.
Asangata.
So the stepping is nishankata, that is doubtlessness, nirbhayata, fearlessness, asangata, total separateness. But this is how we have to perceive the world through Dada's eye, that is third eye of Shiva, not these worldly eyes. Worldly eyes are very deceptive and very limited Each perspective is very limited. So if you want to make the best and see anything in totality, complete vision, that will be possible only when we view things, perceive things through the third eye, Shiva's third eye, that is eye of absolute knowledge. With that eye, Bhagavan has so nicely revealed and put to the world certain things like, I just brought out something, just hold on, which is in relation to what Dr. Kashyapji asked, but it is really wonderful. 1 minute. The doer is different while charging, and it is different one at the time of discharge. This is the subtle knowledge of enlightened, dispassionate ones, that is the absolute ones. You understand? Dr. Kashyapji, are you there?
Yeah, this is the correct understanding.
Yeah, and this is such a profound thing beyond our imagination, and we keep saying, my karma. Who is suffering? I am suffering. In fact, Kashyapji's karma, Kashyapji is suffering, and I am, as pure soul that I am perceiver of the name bearer body self, which is passing through karmic results. And that's how the egoism of suffering and egoism of doership, they both are different. And they are always at different times in the sense, while you cause, the karma that was caused was out of doership, egoism of doership, which was of the last life, which has nothing to do with this life. We say, but the same soul was there. Soul has no problem, no what a concern with what the relative does. Correct?
Right.
It's wonderful. So this is how, I mean, we can correlate things, what happened in our life, with the absolute science of liberation and keep ourselves free from all kind of vices and weaknesses. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satya. You have anything to add to Kashyap? Anything more?
No, actually, yeah, this is very good. What in summary, what Deepakanandji Pulananji said, because anytime what I see violence and which is not against that, so that kinds of brings this thought, So now I have to practice, like Pulinanji also said, and Deepakanandji said, now I have to practice this and make it stronger. This day by day, I hope it becomes more and more stronger. That the other person is not at fault. So inside the vision, we have to change the vision. That is what I understood. And one more thing, if there is time, I have another question. That this kind of faultless vision is there with the vitrag, as I understood, right, from the previous time also. We understood that this vision is means whatever the circumstances are there, that doesn't matter, but this vision should be always be there. That is our aim, that final aim, right? This is to be with rag, and from the vision, the faultless vision is what we have to achieve, right? That is our focus.
Deepakanandji?
Yes. The reason is, see, as you see, so you learn, and so you become, and so you live. So what you perceive is very important. And this vision of the enlightened soul vision is such, it shows us things as they are.
Yeah.
Without any preoccupation.
One more question I have is that this one good, there are two Gujarati words, dakho and dakhal, Okay, so where they are not equivalent words in either English or Hindi, So little bit I asked Pulinanandji and he explained me, but little bit more elaboration, I want to understand this. I've always seen this example of this curd, which of the interference. But in that specific example, the curd, when a person is so curious that he interferes, he has this intention that to know that what will happen. He doesn't accept that. He's not accepting that it will set, but he has curious, out of curiosity, excessive curiosity, he tries to interfere. He does, and then he interferes. So in that whole sequence, what is the dakho and what is the dakhal? Please explain. What is the exactly dakho there, and what is the dakhal? The distinguishment between the both. I would like to know, understand more.
For this, I will, and in fact, everyone will salute Dada Bhagwan, because he has reached he has not only revealed the literal meaning of words, in-depth meaning of words, but the ultimate meaning of those words. And here lies what he has revealed. Dakho is cause and dakhal is result. So what they say, दही का डखा हो गया इसीलिए वो परिणाम दखल हुआ. अगर वो डखा नहीं करते, if had that person not meddled with the curd which was ripening or which was happening, he would have got wonderful curd in the morning. But what it says, when someone interferes with the natural happening or universal power, that is Vyavasthit, things get disturbed and you become responsible for that act. So, very primary and perfect answer what Dada has revealed. Dakho is cause, dakhal is effect. If dakho is, there is no cause, there is no effect. So, the phrase which is used is dakho dakhal na karso.
So the dakho,
So
the cause happens because of ignorance of our oneself, right?
No, not only that, not adhering to the third agna, that it's Vyavasthit. Now, what you had to do, you already done it. Now you don't interfere with the nature. If you try to interfere, then that interference will act as another cause and it will disturb the natural happening.
The definition in that, the definition point, it says that dakho is the interference due to the ego, and the dakhal is the result. It is written like that.
Correct.
So,
Correct. But
so
not
what is
only
the ego part here doing? This please explain.
Ego part is we are not accepting Vyavasthit. We are not accepting the natural order of happening. Because when you have already caused, when the primary cause is already done, why do you want to interfere with the nature? And the effect is you will not get that curd in the morning. Correct?
So the ego is being unnatural here.
Yes. No. It's like, okay, you can say that, but that ego part is still working, who don't, or it doesn't accept the Vyavasthit Shakti to work. What if, let me check. So he, to fulfill his doubt, inadvertently, unknowingly, he meddles with the nature, and in the morning, everything gets messed up. There is no curse.
The thing is that the ego is not able to see that action will result in meddling. This is what happens.
That's why it is said ego is blind.
Yeah.
Ego is blind. So where this such blindness prevails, then knowledge, although it is there, becomes helpless. So we must adhere to listen to the knowledge and stop all such interference. That's why it's said all these enlightened ones, absolute ones, they have folded their hands and legs that now no more interference with the nature, come what may. They have passed through bouts of suffering, unimaginable suffering, but they didn't raise their hands, they didn't do anything. So it was because of doing this thing has come up. Now, if you just perceive all the results of the past doings, then everything will settle.
Yes, good. And
And they have got this wisdom in such a precise and with total conviction that now he says, I won't commit that mistake again, come what may, no matter what. No matter what the level of suffering I have to pass through, I am not going to meddle with the nature. That's how their eyes are open. And in fact, it's a different version. The open eyes of different gods say they perceived things, what was happening outside. Sim kept perceiving and kept their hands and legs folded. The other version is the Shiva version is the Shiva is looking at the nose. So from distance it looks like the eyes are closed, but when you go close, then you come to know that it is watching the nose. And nose is symbol of egoism. So what the one who is on the path of liberation as Shiva, he will perceive what bouts of suffering he passes through in different circumstances, what he is exposed to.
correct.
He will not see who is doing it, he will see who is suffering. So
Wisdom.
he watches, he perceives all the bouts of suffering, what one passes through, whether it's of happiness or unhappiness. And the ultimate, the Digambaras, they have not put eyes to the gods at all. They say because God don't see anything with the worldly eye, they only see with the knowledge, eye of knowledge, wisdom. So it's everyone is right, but such a wonderful thing we have in this world to understand, and the knowledge of absolutes, how they are revealed or expressed in different ways. That's the beauty of it. Jai
Good.
Satchidanand.
Yes.
See,
Pulinanandji, you want to comment on that?
just most of it is all covered up. Basically, Dakko is, the cause. He puts the finger in the curd, and that because he learned to Dakhal. What is the Dakhal? Dakhal is it has interrupted the process of dahi making. So that was the effect of the Dakhal, and it is done by the ego. But remember, ego is blind and it always operates in the light of somebody. Generally speaking, ego is associated with intellect. So it goes along as the intellect shows or, gives the light. So based on whatever the intellect says, the ego does it. So the Dako essentially comes from the intellect. Intellect drives, or whether that curd would have been prepared or not, how it can go on its own. Let me just see how much curd is prepared. So that is the intellect which drives the ego to go see and put the finger in that milk vessel.
Right.
So typically it is ego, but ego is blind. So either it is driven by intellect, or now for Mahatmas, it can be also driven by the Prajna Shakti. So when if it is driven by Prajna Shakti, then it will see Vyavasthit Shakti Karta, or faultless vision and all the Payagnas and everything. So it's a tussle between the operation of the ego. In whose light is it operating? Is it operating in the light of the ignorance or the ignorant understanding that it has brought, as we say, as Potapano and all that? Or is it operating in the light of the pragna or today's gnan of ayagnas and Progret and Ibul, etc.? So you have to choose the right, no, right. You have to choose the right light of pragna or light of agna, which is intellect. So that's the way you can avoid the dakha. Buddhi may go, that the prajna will bring it back. It will go and the prajna will bring it back. So that's the process, and ultimately it will remain aligned with prajna. If the ego remains aligned with prajna, then no dakho. No dakho.
Yes,
That's
thank
why
you
Dada Bhagwan
for
said,
your
if you practice my 5 ajnas, you will have the experience, the samadhi or serenity of Lord Mahavira.
correct.
Okay, just
Okay.
So yeah, just a minute. Thanks for your. I'm sorry, I sometimes have interrupting you, but I just wanted to thank you for your explanation. Thank you, Jasachi.
Lalita.
Jai Sachidanand. On the
Jai
same
Sachidanand.
note, I just wanted to share something that Dada was talking about. There's no such thing as Yamraj, it's Niyamraj. And Dr. Radhe says Niyamraj, so he says it's Vyavasthit. नियम से जन्म लेता है, नियम से मरता है, पर वो कितना सारा पजल हो गया और सारा मगज खराब हो गया, सबका मगज डिस्टर्ब हो गया, बहुत चीज ऐसी है वो कॉम्प्लेक्स है, इसीलिए मालूम नहीं पड़ता। परिश्रम और विश्राम दोनों ही प्रारब्ध है, समझ में आया? लेकिन लोग परिश्रम को पुरुषार्थ बोलते हैं और विश्राम को प्रारब्ध बोलते हैं। So I just wanted to add that to the talk on Vyavasthit, that everything, and we are reading about Parmanus and how Dada has said that everything in this life is effect. Eating is your first gullen, going to sandas is your second gullen. That just absolutely blew me away. And he said there are only just 5 things. There's Atma, Puran, and Galan. And the other thing is Bhojanalaya and Shauchalaya. So it just drove the point home that everything is effect. And we just have to be the observer.
Any comment, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji?
perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
actually, I just requested Dr. Lalita Ben that please share some of the wisdom what Dada Bhagwan, revealed to Dr. Radhebai. Dada Bhagwan revealed to Dr. Radhebai, and so at least because it's a big bulk, so every time we will take this advantage of sharing Radhebai's diary stuff. I'll not say stuff, but wisdom of Dada's knowledge. Thank you, Lalita ma'am. Jai Sachidanand.
Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Deepakanandji, take it 3 mantra, please.
Jai Sachidanand. Namo Vitaragaya.
Namo
Vitragaya. Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Vasayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Oi Savasahunam.
Namo Loi Savasahunam.
Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Pavapavapranasano.
Savapavapranasano.
Mangalanam Chasavesing.
Mangalanam Chasavesing.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai